So hey everybody, welcome back to Bow and Arrow Garage. As you saw in the previous clip, I finally get this car started, and man oh man, it sounds so good. I was a little disappointed when I looked back at the video because it didn't really come across in the video just how good it sounds, but it sounds fantastic. But not only does it sound fantastic, it has great oil pressure and everything just seems to be fantastic on it. So I'm really excited. This was a major milestone to accomplish, and I'm pleased to say that we're on track now to get this thing going. Of course, I've got a long way to go as far as the tune goes. I've got to get the exhaust buttoned up, and I've got to finish getting my radiator fans installed and connected. But those are things that will come in time. But today is such a major accomplishment because now we know that we have a good engine and we can get to where we wanted to get all along. So I want to say thank you for joining in, and I hope you enjoy the video. So hey everybody, I'm excited to announce that we're going to be having another Super Clean giveaway on the channel. Super Clean is a fantastic company to deal with, but more important to me is that their products actually do what they say they're going to do. And we wanted to give one lucky winner an opportunity to try these products out for themselves. So with that being said, please stick around to the end of the video. We'll give the rules of the giveaway and what you need to do to get entered to win your own set of Super Clean cleaning products. So the first thing I want to show you is the installation of the radiator. I purchased the Champion AE478 radiator, and it is actually a radiator from a big block 1973 Corvette. This is a 70 that was originally had a small block in it, but when I bought the car it had the big block core support in it, and I decided to go with an old school radiator just because of price. There were some LS swap radiators out there that when you're looking at the radiator plus the fans, it's a combined price of $1,500 to $2,000, and that's just crazy to me. So I was able to purchase this radiator for a couple $100. And you know, the big issue when doing that is just adapting over radiator hoses and making them fit. But guess what? The new LS swap radiators, you have to do the same exact thing. So to me, this was the only way to go. So I got the radiators, and I'll kind of walk you through the process of installing them. I'm just going to kind of fly through it. It's just a general radiator installation, so it's not a big deal. But then I'll kind of show you what I did with the radiator hoses. So with that being said, let's jump into it. Okay guys, the radiator is in. It's bolted down. This driver's side saddle mount on the forward outside edge, the metal is pretty close to touching the weld there. I've got it adjusted as far up as it'll go. It's not touching, but it's close. I'm probably going to order some rubber isolators. I should have done that, but I didn't. And I'm probably just going to replace the upper ones. The lower ones seem to be in pretty decent shape. I mean, they all do, but if I can get a little bit more clearance there, or I might just take this mount out and just grind it down just a little bit around that weld. But besides that, the radiator looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and work on my hoses now, see how close I can get them, and I'll take you through that process. Alright, I'm having to make my lower radiator hose out of two. This is the piece I cut off the one section. I'm about to cut the other section off, and I'm going to have to put a splice in it. It's not necessarily the best, but I wasn't able to find a hose that would fit. These are 1 3/4 hoses, and they're not all that common anymore, at least not what I could find. I like to put a radiator hose clamp around it just to kind of keep me straight. So there it is. Put this section in and we should be good. And I did want to show one other thing. I'm going to be using the sleeve to adapt this hose down from a, sorry, it's going to go here. To adapt it down from 1 3/4 to 1 1/2. Alright guys, I got the lower radiator hose installed. So I use a radiator hose repair kit from O'Reilly's to attach this hose. I used 2 Gates hoses. I'm trying to find the one sticker off the one. I'll try to give you the part numbers before the video is all said and done, but I think all in all it's a pretty clean installation. It went down from 1 3/4 here to 1 1/2 up there, and I used that adapter sleeve. I think that hose is a pretty clean installation. I've got to say this, it's much cleaner than what it was on the original engine that was in here. It was all just jacked up and hitting the fan and everything else. So anyways, got that. I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm going to have to go try to get an upper radiator hose. The local O'Reilly's didn't have one, so they showed to have one in stock, but they couldn't find it, so I'm gonna have to go find one in another store. Okay, I realized I didn't get a very good video of my upper radiator hose setup. So on the top hose here, this is a Gates 23043 hose. This adapter is by Speedway Motors. It's specifically for LS swaps. It goes from 1 1/2 to 1 1/4 so that you can use an old school radiator for your LS swap. And it's got the steam port provision. This steam port hose is a Gates 28407. And then this hose is what I cut from a stock C3 Corvette radiator hose. In this case, it was made by Duralast. It was a part number E72151. And I just basically looked at my 05 Corvette and said, yeah, that should work. So that's the upper radiator hose, and then I'll show you what I have on the lower also. That adapter that I showed in here, it's an All-Star ALL 30240, and it's a 1.75 inch radiator hose to a 1.5 inch radiator or an outlet reducer. And then my hoses, the 2 that I adapted to fit, were the Gates 22896. And then the Gates 20812. So Gates 22896 and Gates 20812. So hopefully I can save somebody time and money, and just so that you can go in and easily find this stuff. I know that it's you know, it's kind of hodgepodge, but at the end of the day, it's not a factory setup, but I don't think it's bad at all. So I guess only time will tell to see how well it holds up. Like I said, I used just a radiator repair kit here from O'Reilly's, and there may come a time where I need to upgrade that, but I think all in all it's a pretty decent setup, and it should perform the function that it was created for. So at the end of the day, that's all we're asking of it. Alright folks, I'm going to go ahead and do it, and I really don't know what to expect. We will see. Hopefully she cranks right up. I'll check the power steering fluid and check the water. We'll see. All right. We primed our fuel. All right, it's trying. So check, look everything over. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one of the spark plugs, see what we have going on here. Did not seem like it had any fuel on it. So, makes me wonder. I'll check my fuel rail, see if I have any. A little bit of air. Let's turn it. All right, there's some fuel. All right, let's try her again. Okay, folks, I think I figured out why my car wouldn't start. These injectors are just pretty gummed up. If you look in there, it's completely, just totally clogged. So I've got a tool coming to clean these things out. I just wanted to show you guys what's going on. I'm going to run over and see if I can get a set of O-rings. We'll go ahead and get some carb cleaner, start cleaning them out as best as I can, and then we'll wait till we get that tool and we'll give these things a good flush. This is the tool that I used. It's an injector tester that I bought off of Amazon. It's got leads to hook to your car battery, and then it's got these leads that you can hook into your injector, and then you can go through and do a mode select. And this one has 8 modes. I ended up using mode 8, which is the highest continuous mode, and it was amazing because the first injector I did cleaned up right away. I mean, almost immediately. And if it hadn't been for that, I probably would have quit because several of the other ones took forever. So I had them hooked up. I was tapping them as I was pulsing it and running carburetor cleaner through it. Finally, you know, one by one they broke through. There were 2 of them that took forever. One of them I did not think was going to free up. So I kind of gave up on it, and I came back about an hour later and decided to give it one more chance, and lo and behold, it broke free. Okay guys, so the final issue I had with this thing before I was able to start it is I had an issue with the injector O-rings, and I'll kind of give a little bit of a video to show exactly what I'm talking about. But long story short, the O-rings that were on the injectors were the incorrect ones. The flex fuel injector O-rings are about twice the price of the other ones. Okay, so this is the cheaper alternative, and as you can see, these are the old ones, these are the new ones. These match up. The question is, did the previous owner put the wrong O-rings in this fuel rail? Because this is what came out. It turns out this is the correct O-ring, this is the incorrect. So obviously the previous owner installed these and they are incorrect. So I think what happened is these are half the price of these. So I think they thought, well, it'll work, and the problem is I don't want to take a chance because I don't want my car to catch on fire. So I'm going to put the right O-rings in, and we're going to call it a day. All right, guys, I started it a minute ago. I don't know if I got it on video or not. I thought I had the camera on, but I'm going to go ahead and crank it up again. I just I checked the water, checked the power steering fluid. that's good, guys. I like. Let's make sure we don't have any fuel leaks. And I'm not going to start it again today. I got a little something here. Gotta make sure that's not fuel. Let me check that real quick. I'm afraid it might be because I don't know that anything else could have gotten in there. This is definitely a big relief. The engine sounds very healthy. I've got good oil pressure. So I'm going to call it good. I'm going to go ahead and run up and get some gas. Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and start the car again. There's a couple purposes in doing so. First of all, I just kind of want to hear it run again. But the other thing is I'm going to try to get you guys a better video outside of the garage so that it's just not reverberating and you can actually hear what the car sounds like. And then the third purpose is I'm going to hook up the VCM scanner and just kind of look at everything. I'm not going to run it for long. I still don't have my fans hooked up. At least with the scanner on, I can monitor the water temperatures and stuff. And anyways, I'll go ahead and get everything hooked up, and then we'll go from there. So that's going to do it for this video. I'm extremely pleased with the progress that I've made on the car. I mean, we've got a good engine, we've got good oil pressure, everything just seems to be good on it. So I'm really happy about that. My next things I need to do is I need to get my cooling fans on order, and I also need to get a throttle cable on order. The exhaust can wait till down the road. I'm going to be tuning it without the O2 sensors in the loop anyway, so I can at least, once I get the fans in, I can at least start doing some tuning on it, and obviously the throttle cable. The exhaust is going to wait, the wheels and tires are going to have to wait toward the end, but man, we're almost there. So I do want to remind you, don't forget about the Super Clean giveaway. We'll be drawing a winner right around the turn of the new year, so I'll give you a couple of weeks to get your comments in. Basically, the only rules are you have to be 18 years old, you have to have an address within the lower 48 states, and then just put a comment in there. Just something to do with Super Clean, and out of the people that make those comments, we'll choose a winner, and we'll get the gift packet sent out to you. So that being said, I want to say thank you for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you again next time. Thanks, and have a great night.